How's it going?
Hey guys.
Hello.
This is the second developer stream on Tower Unite, and we're going to show off some more stuff that we've been working on the past 3 days. We had our last stream on Friday. Showed off a couple things, and we've got some more stuff to show off tonight too.
Yep. And Zach, do you want to talk about what's been going on?
Sure. So over the past few days, I've been working on moving some of our player code from Blueprint to C++. I've decided that we want to handle our inventory systems more on the native side, so they'd be a bit faster. So I've been kind of blocking out those systems. Started out with just making the player model. I'm using the default player model right now. I got the third-person model, casting shadows, and the legs, which are the most important part of Tower. I want to get that implemented right away. So the basic things I worked on implementing were I kind of started thinking in the context of our virus game mode and some of the future game modes we've been working on, where we want to have player damage, have the player ragdoll and all that stuff. So I've been kind of integrating those into the base character that we'll be using. So I have over here a little bit of fire that when you touch, it's hot and it hurts. So you can kill yourself on it. And it does like a ragdoll thing. And then respawning, which took me 3 hours to figure out, actually. Because it's not as straightforward as I thought it would be. But I managed to figure it out this morning. And
It's pretty awesome.
falling downstairs, too. Oh, falling upstairs, too.
Falling up. Oh god.
Falling upstairs.
There we go.
Ah.
So
Oh good.
basically, before what we had is we had this network character blueprint, which was just a mess of just graphs of all kinds of stuff using no clip section is simple, but all these functions that was just becoming really messy to kind of manage and get in there. So I'm writing a new base in C++ that handles all that stuff, all the sort of back-end stuff like damage, ragdolling, and whatever other features we want to put on that will basically be universal throughout Tower. So if you're in the lobby or if you're in the game modes, whatever, this is like the base that all the different player classes will be based off of. And basically we can just derive from that and then implement specific things for like the lobby. If you're in the lobby, you're like this character, or if you're in the virus game mode, you're this character, and each one has its own particular quirks. Also kind of playing around with an inventory system, but it's not anywhere near implemented, but I'm going to have it so it's going to be stored on the player controller object, and it's going to have a backend that hooks into Steam. But I'm just kind of blocking this stuff out right now. It's not even near ready. Been doing a little bit of research on how assets are managed in Unreal. One of the things I want to try to do is have a system where the game will look in your asset folder and then figure out like what items it needs to load, basically to support workshop going forward. So people will be able to make their own items, and you basically just put it in this folder, and then the server will be able to load them. Still not quite sure how that works. I'm doing a little reading on that, but I think it's possible. So that's pretty much what I've been working on, is, you know, the boring stuff. But going forward, I think we'll be able to have items in soon, and then you'll get to see some picking up items, buying stuff, dropping stuff down, decorating the condo. That's what will be coming this week.
Visually, it might not look like anything, but this kind of stuff is more the back end. and it's pretty crucial for the base of the
Yeah.
entire game. So once we get this stuff laid down, we can start moving into, like Zach said, we can move on the items, and we can start doing all that, the awesome stuff you guys want to see. So
I'm excited for Unreal Confetti.
the particle system in Unreal is awesome. Like from what I've seen, like the fire, and we did some other things for the condo fireplace and a whole different variety of things. So that's pretty awesome.
There you go. Drop some fireworks in.
So, I think I was gonna start working on another source cards map, and I might just start whipping that up right now. Yeah, I mean, basically just doing detail stuff and things like that. The track is down. I mean, this probably isn't gonna be a final thing for gameplay, mostly because we're gonna work on the anti-gravity stuff, like we said, and you know, more space. Probably gonna be a lot bigger. So for the most part, this is just a test bed. Yeah, it could be a mix. It could be some of the crazy stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Because, man, like Baby Park.
There's definitely a lot of possibilities. That's great.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, there's still pretty early. We gotta start working on items, and we're gonna tweak the cart physics a little bit more.
Yeah.
But what we have right now is still pretty solid.
My microphone always like cuts out when I do these streams, so I have to constantly hit reinitialize all the time. I don't know why. I gotta figure that out, but I'm just gonna keep hitting that throughout the stream. Apparently it was breaking just a second ago.
Weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start whipping up a new track.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, we reached 20K, which is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
We have what 19 days left, so hopefully we keep it going.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that was like a big leap compared to
Yeah, we
past
did
few
not
days.
see that one coming.
Yeah, we had a few YouTubers. Most notably, Eat My Diction just played.
Yeah. Shout out to You My Diction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
seriously.
awesome what he did. So we're trying
Super
to,
nice guy, too.
huh? Yeah, he's really nice. Trying to get more people, more exposure. I think he's gonna play again. So if you guys wanna check his stream out,
Whenever that happens.
whenever that happens, I'm sure
It'll probably be in the near future.
sure he'll talk about it more.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then we have a player model we're still working on. I'm not sure if Kai's ready to show it yet, because he just had to restart his computer.
Not ready.
You're not ready yet? Alright. We'll be showing that during the stream. And if you want, we can start taking questions.
Yeah, people have already been starting.
Yeah, I noticed.
Definitely.
Yeah, they
filling
are.
up.
They are asking.
They are asking questions, and we need to
Yeah,
start
Andy,
answering.
if you have any that you've seen, you can go ahead and start listing. some off
I'm
while I
answering
work.
all the ones that I'll call out any ones that are are good talking
Okay.
points.
All right, well, I'll bring on the questions and we'll start.
Okay. Well, let's see. I guess somebody was interested in how reporting stuff from source to Unreal, specifically models. So map related stuff. How are we getting the map of?
I know.
Well, they asked how will we be doing it, but we technically already did, as you can see from Sweets.
Yeah, but we're not going to be using, like, when we convert everything, like, we're doing that really just to, like, show, like, get the basic, like, structure of what we originally had, but we're going to be redoing, like, all the maps in Unreal. So, like, they'll be not very much like the source versions, but they'll definitely be similar. I mean, I know all the game mode maps most likely are going to be redone.
Yeah.
We'll probably
we
take
said
the
that-
theme ideas, like we'll keep it Grass World or whatever, like Ball Race, but we're not gonna have it the same at all. It'll look way different.
'cause we
And same with the
mentioned
levels.
In the last stream, we were talking about how the difference between Unreal and the Source engine, because looking at like source card stuff, like what I'm doing right now, would never have been possible in the Source engine. So there's just way more opportunities to do a lot more ambitious things, because it's actually possible now to do the things we wanted to do. So we're probably going to look into keeping the themes but recreating the content. Mostly
Yeah.
because we can iterate on stuff and improve things.
There's some, there's some level design stuff that we did that actually worked, so we'll probably keep some of those going, but they'll definitely be different. Especially with like source cards, like that's a big difference, like because you can play soundtracks way better and
Yeah.
they just work. So we don't have to do all the brushwork stuff like that. We do everything with models and allows us to do a lot more.
So I've never tried to do a loop before.
Let's see.
Someone asked, how is the networking in UE4 different from Source?
Oh right, yeah, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So, one of the key differences between Unreal and Source is that Source uses a pretty standard server client model where the server has all the game state information. So, like, it knows where all the players are and, all the entities are and all the information about them. And the client just gets, snapshot information. The client just kind of gets a sort of picture in terms of data as to like where everything is and where everything's going, and the client will just interpolate that to figure out what to render on the screen. So it's basically just a dumb terminal that plays back a sort of video coming from the server, basically.
Wonder how this will work out.
Unreal takes a different approach where both the client and server contain the game state. So the client is also aware of the state of all the entities and all the objects. And the server just sends updates. It says, like this object moved in this way, or, this variable changed. And then the client just updates it. One of the key things that's really interesting about this is that the client is also potentially a server. It knows everything about the state of the world when it gets it. So it could basically branch off and host from what it knows about the game state. So yeah, it's basically all replicated instead of the snapshot system that Source has.
Yeah, and then basically like that gives a lot of possibilities, right? That we couldn't really do.
Right.
Like a lot of fixes for
It's
stuff.
also better for like high latency clients because
And handling,
your
right?
client knows a lot about what's going on, so it can extrapolate a lot of information. And actually, one of the things that's really neat is that the server goes down, the client can still play the game because it becomes basically like a single player experience because the client knew everything about what was going on at the time.
Which means like for source cards, right? You'll have like perfect controls because you're basically like no latency because it's rendering on the client.
Right. The client knows everything about the way the cart works, so it can basically extrapolate what the cart's going to do from what you're doing.
Other questions?
Other than the ones that we answered in chat, doesn't seem like I think I saw
Someone
one.
says,
Yeah,
"Do you
there's a
guys
lot.
have any of the shooty games built yet?"
Right.
Oh, you don't know. I answered that. We don't, but we will.
Should
But
probably
yeah,
answer
once-
answer these in voice. It'd be easier because I know you can answer voice some too.
I mean, because we don't have the player stuff down yet quite. I mean, we're working on it right now, so once we get all that player stuff down, we can start moving into the game types and stuff like that for
Because
virus and all that.
in the example that I showed, I have a player that's capable of taking damage and dying, so that's like the core aspect of shooty games.
Yeah.
So what we need after that is inventory and weapons, and then we can basically build virus probably pretty quickly from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to make a loop. It's not working out too well.
Yeah, I don't know where you. No, you want to place
know.
like multiple angles
Because
to
I
do
have
it.
like this. Because it starts on the ground and then I have to reposition it. Like, there we go, kind of.
Is it a Bezier curve?
I think so, yeah.
Then it's gonna be really difficult.
Yeah. There's probably.
You're gonna have to
I mean,
probably
but-
model that one.
I can still, from what I was making earlier, I made a pretty steep incline, and the cart was taking it pretty
You could
well.
take the incline and then export that out as a model, and then like make a loop,
Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
and then import that in, because it's gonna handle it the same as if it's that track.
Yeah, because do the splines do per poly collision, or how's that?
Yeah,
handled?
I believe so. I mean, that's how.
Cool.
And then yeah. Will be a new website. Yes, there'll be
Yeah,
a
I
new
was just reading
website.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be towerunite.
I know we had
It's
one
already
up.
it's already up.
Yeah, and it displays the
It's got
Kickstarter
nothing on it, but
cover.
when we actually start, we're gonna have forums there and everything, and we'll migrate everything over there. We're gonna upgrade the forum software too.
It's almost done, right?
Oh my god, this
What, the forum software?
No, the site itself.
Yeah, we're working on the site. It's gonna be different. It's gonna have a revamped profile
Mm-hmm.
system, just like the tower website does. You'll be able to see like more things, like achievements and stuff, than you could on the original game. And heavy use on Steamworks CPI.
Yep.
So that would be really cool.
Next, 11 asked, are you guys planning to expand the size of the nightclub into a fully fledged EDM concert type scale with smoke and lasers and this like Skrillex? You probably have to
Man,
ask
if Scott
who-
was here, he's not here, because he's busy with schoolwork right now. Because I'm
Something
in
like that.
finals too, so we're just finishing up our schoolwork. But
Yeah,
he freaking totally would do that, I think. And
Yeah,
I think it'd be
that's his
something
plan.
interesting to explore, is to have like a concert type environment,
I know
like a
he
stage.
said that he's gonna explore all the sound reactive scripting and everything like that for bass and everything. And
Yeah,
implementing it.
well, and then like also in like your condo, you'll be able to
Yeah.
have stuff like that as well.
Oh,
You can make your condo a nightclub.
Yeah, if you really want to.
so good question here. Will we still be able to produce community-made maps that we can implement into the official tower site?
That's interesting because we'll have workshop support after the release, and like I guess it would be something that we can investigate when like people start making stuff, like models and maps, and maybe we can officially like approve some of them to put in the final game, like instead of just on the workshop. But that's something we'll have to deal with once we get to that point, and we can talk to the contributors and handle them one by one. But that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I know Valve used to do that type of stuff. I think they still do. Like with TF2, people would make it for workshop, and then they would have contests, and they would approve it into official content. So we'll probably do stuff like that too.
Somebody asked, will more serious bans like DDoS threats carry over to Unite?
Okay, so since you can host your own servers, the ban system is not really going to be like monitored by us. We will have VAC banning on ranked servers. Free servers won't have that. Well, you can choose an option between it. So you can have a free server that has VAC protection or not. But you know, otherwise, we're not going to transfer over the bans that we have currently. I mean, so it's a different game. So yeah, that's going to be different. So I don't know. It's you guys host the servers, so you guys handle all that
the
stuff.
host is the one that controls moderation.
Yeah, so you guys can control what your ban policy is, not us. The amount of condos being expanded. So condos are infinite. We kind of explained this before. I mean, you can create a condo instance and just play it in single player, or you can invite your friends. So like the condos are a completely separate server now. And like that means you can have as many as you want. Like you can just spawn your own condo, even if like the Plaza server is not going to manage the condos anymore. It doesn't do that. The Plaza gives you connection to find people's condos that are connected to that Plaza, but then they don't host it. So basically, it's as many as you want to host.
Should we show off Jim's?
Yeah, you want to show off? You want to show off that?
Just like how
Okay.
ideas playing with splines right now. I haven't gotten a chance to dive into this very much other than the basic track editing. So
That's fine.
It's really intuitive though. I love working with this.
So Jim or Kai, he's been working on the new look for Ball Race, kind of like seeing how much we can do with the Unreal Engine, and
Bring that up.
Dongle's got it up too, so you don't have to worry about it. So placeholder model. I can't take it. So yeah, we're gonna like revamp everything, and this is kind of like a good alpha like snapshot of what we mean by like us redoing the looks. The design of this is still from source, like the level itself, so that will be changed and upgraded. But like the environment is gonna be completely new and fresh. Will.
I just love that animation.
The animation's so silly.
So I mean, we already somebody asked if we were going to be contacting some popular social icons, and
Yeah, we've been doing that.
we sent out a bunch of emails, and currently a few of them are already recording to help promote, and then hopefully when those games release, they will also play that.
Yeah, don't worry about the exposure on stuff and like the bloom and stuff. We're gonna adjust all that stuff. This is all alpha. Like we are just going for quick, like what is it gonna look like, and you know, because it's really bright.
Yeah.
Oh, will we be implementing a global ban system for, say, ranked hacking or other exploitation / harassment related stuff? So we should just be setting up back for that, wouldn't we? Or
Because
something
we'll be using
our
VAC.
own servers, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we're using
There you
VAC.
go.
Well, the official servers, yeah, they'll have their own rules, and we'll be moderating those. But the ones that aren't official and are like your moderation, so you handle that. But yeah, we're gonna be doing VAC. Like that's gonna be our way to get rid of cheaters. Is VAC banning.
Mm-hmm. Disco race confirmed.
What? Discoveries.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Someone said, "What are the new bananas for Ball Race? There's still going to be bananas."
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit, but we're still trying to figure out what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be bananas, because
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
So we'll come up with something with that.
We know it's
So,
got to be a collectible of some kind that helps translate to currency.
And there was an idea someone had a while ago that we didn't get to explore, which was collectibles in Ball Race that meant more than just like they're like golden versions and like they're harder to get and stuff like that. I want to explore. So it's not just like, oh, that's a collectible there that's easy to get. Also like harder ones that mean more. And
So Eagle Soul 5 asked, "Do you guys all know C++, or do some of you exclusively use blueprints?"
I'm an artist, so I actually don't, but these guys might.
Zach's
So-
proficient in C.
I know
C++.
I was taught C++ at school. I also use it a lot. Scott is learning C++. He's pretty good at it so far. He's implemented a few things in it. So far it's just me and him that know it. But the best thing about the C++ is that we can expose things to Blueprint. So one of the things I did with my code was, let me see if I can pull this up. Gotta find it.
Oh,
These are all coming.
I want to imagine the answer would be yes, but
Okay.
someone asked if we'll be able to play in offline mode.
So one of the things I did is this is my C++ character. I don't know if you're on my screen or not.
yeah, I am.
Oh, you are?
I'm going
Yeah.
to say yes.
Okay. So this is my C++ character that I made. So all his code for doing, the really low-level stuff is implemented in C++, but I exposed events to Blueprint, like when he gets hit or when he dies, that can be implemented by our designers. So we don't all need to know C++. I can work on these like low-level systems and get them implemented, and then when it comes to all the kind of surface level stuff like, you know, what kind of effects go off or what kind of sounds get played, or, you know, what's the overall gameplay of the game world that we're working on. That's stuff that the designers can go in and use Blueprint to do, and it's actually a very nice workflow. We can collaborate on this relatively easily.
So, someone
Okay,
asked. Someone asked like a little bit of a tough question. I was gonna answer a little bit in chat, but it's like the offline mode, and I mentioned it before, but I'll mention again. Condos, like you can play that in single player, so that means you don't need to have a connection. And basically, it will save your condo and try to upload it to Steam as soon as you reconnect to the internet. So yeah, you'll be able to play offline. As far as like game modes, you really do need people. Like other players, because it's a multiplayer game, so you won't be able to play those offline. I'm not sure about the Plaza stuff yet, like if we're gonna have offline mode for that, but I definitely know condos are gonna be a single player experience that you can have. So you can like decorate your condo and then go back online, connect with the servers, sync your condo, and then show it off. There's a bunch of other questions here. Will the water at the pier have the player models ragdoll going down the water slides? That, not sure. We have to figure out how the physics with ragdolls really like impacts server and networking. Most likely, we're gonna do some more crazy types of water slide stuff, but I'm not even sure what we're entirely planning if we're gonna keep the water slides just yet. We'll probably, but it will probably be kind of similar to what we have now, but better looking and better feeling. So I'm not sure if it's going to be ragdolls. We'll probably have custom animations instead of ragdolling, because that would be better.
Yeah, and the other thing you can do is you can combine the blend weights to do like partial physics.
Oh yeah, you can do that, which you were experimenting with, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Let's see what else there was.
Who made the island map?
Huh?
Who made the island map?
Kai
Which
did.
one?
All right, Kai. How long did it take you?
Well, I already had assets that I made, so not too long.
Not too
Maybe
long.
a-
That's
A day or two to actually
Wow.
make the island. But that doesn't count, like,
the amount of time to make the assets, or
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like another 1 or 2 weeks.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
So,
so
a couple weeks, basically.
So Circuit, I don't know. Circuit asks, so I didn't catch the last stream, so I apologize if this has already been stated. But in the Kickstarter information, you state that you will be able to see other players in 3D space from other servers. Would you elaborate?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're going to be doing is when you connect to like a plaza, the plaza itself will search for other plazas, and they will provide information of like players, but very basic game state information. So it's like where they're located, what their name is, and possibly like their chat and stuff. But they'll be like kind of like ghosts, which is why we mentioned like the 3D part. Is they're gonna be like walking around, but not connected to the same server you're connected to. The idea is it basically fills up the space, so it's like an MMO, but it's hosted by multiple servers instead of like, one big server that we host. So like the plazas will actively search for things like that. Zach can probably explain how that works technically.
Yeah. So basically, the Steam API that I was actually looking into this the other day has a peer-to-peer networking layer that lets you actually look at, basically do arbitrary connections to people's Steam IDs. So my thinking about that would be that we would find the Steam ID of the person who's hosting, a server, and basically the server you're on would connect to his server, and basically they communicate on the peer-to-peer layer, and basically exchange information about where their players are and what they're doing. And we will just render those players as ghosts on the authority and basically replicate those ghosts to all the clients.
Yep.
One of the things we kind of want to do is if you encounter like a ghost of a player that you're friends with in Tower, you can either connect to the server they're in or pull them over to the server you're in. And that's just basically can be run by the server. You would just basically do a remote procedural call to the server saying, I want to connect with this guy, and it would, pull him over or, do whatever. One of the big advantages of having this distributed system is that we could solve the DDoS problem that we've had, because we won't have one big central server everyone's connecting to. It'll be just this big distributed system with a whole bunch of computers all communicating with each other. So basically it's going to be hard for anyone to attack one particular, server. If they do, well, that's just one server. It's going to go down and just join another.
So, Suicide Geek just asked, what does the Unreal Engine mean for minigolf and what's going to change? And, I mean, for the most part, it's going to be completely different in a sense. It's going to be way better because Unreal's physics engine is beyond what Source's was, like tenfold.
We can have spin.
Yeah, you can.
Put back
I mean,
spin on the ball.
There's all these things that Fui was looking in, or Scott was looking into implementing things like ballistics physics, and you can get those actual like true like bounce off the wall things that we couldn't do in the current version of mini golf. Because I mean, in the current version of mini golf, there's like the issues with hills and like the power and stuff like that isn't always completely accurate. So with Unreal, it's going to be way more accurate, and we can actually rely on physics way more than what we've been able to do currently. So, and we're also going to work on implementing ballistic physics for pool or billiards as well, and a lot of other things. So I mean, the physics just in general is just going to be way better, and we can do a lot of stuff for the arcade, like bowling is definitely something we're doing, and ball race too will also be improved. So generally overall.
Alright. So let's see. Any other quick questions we can answer? Do you want to show, actually, before we do that, can you want to show the player model?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show that. But
I know it's not finished, but
Yeah, Jim has all the shader stuff for it. We still need to figure out
Right.
see what the
so like
material function that's missing.
we're working on making like some basic like male and female player models right now. We're showing off the female one, and you'll be able to like customize the clothing and most likely like hair and hats and all that stuff, size and all that good stuff. So this is kind of like what we're aiming for right now. It's still a work in progress, still a lot to do, but and this is all Kai's work that he's been working on.
It's already rigged up, right? There's just no
Yeah, it's already
animations for
rigged.
yet.
Yeah.
yeah, there's no animations. I mean, this is a retargeted one, so it's definitely good to go. Just need some animations.
You should show them how you can change the color of the tag.
The
Yeah,
tag.
the tag.
It's really important.
Tag.
We got a whole new level of customization here, guys.
With Unreal, like we can have a lot of like different material customization stuff like that. It's just beyond what we could have done in Source. So we have a lot of things we can customize. A lot more than just what you're seeing with color changes. We'll also have like full-on clothing changings as well, and T-shirt designs and stuff like that.
Customization than what we've been able to do before.
Yeah.
So you can make it your own. Let's see, a couple more questions. A big one was Silarn just asked. It's a repeated question, but He's asking about Unreal Engine performance compared to Gary's mod, and I mean,
Quickly answer that. Yeah, it's gonna be better.
yeah, it's significantly
Way better.
different. The source engine wasn't optimized. It's 10 years old. We couldn't optimize it enough. We were near engine limits. Blah blah blah. We were able to
Well,
run.
we didn't have
current-
access to the code, the C++
Yeah,
code
we have way more
scripts.
access.
So like all the networking stuff couldn't really fix it because it's just Lua. Able to do a lot more.
The lowest setting for Unreal Engine is optimized for iPhones. So if you got a potato, then I'm sure you can run Tower. So, next question.
I guess since we're on the player model subjects, Eagle Soul 5 asked if player models in each minigame will be your Plaza ones. So the quick answer to that is yes. Certain, just like in Tower now, certain restrictions will be made for certain game modes. So like PvP, you won't be able to change the size. You'll have to be the standard size because we don't want like people around at like midgets and you can't shoot them. So we'll have stuff like that, but otherwise, yeah, it will carry over from Plaza. So from Condo to Plaza to game modes as much as possible, or game worlds.
Coldfinger asked a while ago if two friends wanted to play Ball Racer Slaughterdale alone, would they be able to, as in like local multiplayer, or is it going to be like a set limit like what it is in Tower right now?
Well, like
No, well
bots
you
and stuff?
can host your own. So like yeah, you can host your own game worlds as well. So you can bring in just like the small amount that you need and host it and play it. That's totally fine.
Is offline game worlds going to be a thing that we're looking into?
Offline, like no internet.
As in like playing single player Ball Race alone, not connected to anything. Is that like the thing we're looking into?
Technically, yeah, you can do that.
You can do that, but I haven't really like.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
like
it's-
I mentioned it before in the stream that like offline mode would be exclusive to like condos, but we'll probably have like stuff like that as well. But the thing is like certain game modes you
mean-
literally can't play by yourself.
I mean, you can,
like
you
Virus, you
host
can't
a
play by
listen
yourself.
server, and if you host a listen server, you're connected to it. So it's just.
We could have bots, honestly. It's just not something that we are ready to like announce that we'll have bots yet. So
That is a possibility. Yeah.
we just need to test it and make sure that like it's something that we can deliver on before we say that's something gonna happen.
It's definitely
Most
not
of the-
something we have planned for release, but
Yeah.
Yeah, like Max said, most of the game worlds are social games, and like Virus and all the competitive games, it just wouldn't be feasible for single player.
I guess like there would be certain game worlds that you could do it, like mini golf or something that doesn't require like
I mean,
extra
even
people.
Ball race is competitive if you're going for time.
Yeah,
so-
but you don't need people, so that would be one of those where maybe you could play single player. So we'll be looking into that, and we'll have an announcement on that, and like say hey, these are the ones you can play single player and stuff. And same goes with the VR stuff because we were talking about that before. Any game worlds that are compatible with VR will tag it as such, and if it's not, then it's not compatible with VR because like certain game modes we just can't do with VR. Just would drive you mad, it would get you sick, or it just doesn't work. Like Zombie Massacre, you can't have a top-down game in VR. It doesn't work.
Extensive player models from other games and copyright issues.
We can't use copyright by our models.
Yeah, we
but
can't
we're
use
looking
copyright
into-
on IP.
We're looking into
stuff
contacting indie developers to get their stuff for things like that.
to at least
Yeah,
have some information.
We'll have some. I mean, we have to get permission from everyone, but what we're gonna be trying to get permission for some indie developers to get like indie game content in, but nothing that we can announce right now. We obviously can't use any copywritten stuff, so we'll have character customization that will allow you to get really close to that character. If you've ever played like games like Soul Calibur has that type of customization, or something like Sims and stuff, and like we'll also be constantly updating the amount of things you can customize throughout the development of the game. So that's something that we're gonna keep going and adding to, and adding new things and items and clothing and stuff like that.
Messy BS, why not use VR headset purely for 3D and not head tracking? I mean, for the most part, that it's just because like third person is kind of awkward with the VR headsets and stuff like that, it's just kind of weird. It's more of a first-person thing because ball race is third person and mini golf is a third-person thing and a couple other ones. So it depends on how it ends up in testing.
It's something that we're really focusing on the Plaza stuff right now. So like all the Game World stuff, we haven't really like gone into detail on how that VR is going to work for them yet. So right now we're just going to focus on the Plaza for VR, and then as development goes, we'll start announcing what we're planning to do with the Game Worlds. But for what I'm imagining, we won't be able to do all of them with VR support, just some of them.
Actual Big Mac's asking how detailed we'll be able to get with the player model, like for nose width and eye height and stuff like that.
That is the Zach probably could ask or answer, because I mean he's going to be working on that.
I imagine we could get pretty detailed with that, because not only can we manipulate the bone sizes for the character, we can also do displacement maps on our characters, which we couldn't do in Source. So we can actually displace that based on, texture information. So we should be able to get a higher level of control when it comes to, facial features or, small details. We don't have a plan
eye
of action
colors
on that
and
just
stuff
yet, but I think it should be pretty straightforward to figure out.
Yeah, when we start developing like the character stuff, throughout like our development, we'll start announcing like what things are going to be fully supported on that. Big aim is to make it as customizable as possible, so we're going to be trying to do as much as we can. And like I said, we'll have future updates that will expand on that as well. So like if someone really wanted to have like nose width changing, we can add that in a future update. So it's something that we'll constantly be doing.
Or like elf ears.
Yeah, like elf ears.
We got a question
Somebody-
about adult content.
Oh yeah.
Well,
adult
per server.
Yeah, that's per server. So like, that's up to you guys, honestly.
Somebody asked earlier if there's liquid physics in Unreal Engine. Yeah.
Yeah, with the I think Physics Flex or something out. It came out recently that it's embedded in Unreal 4.
And it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, lots of more possibilities with that kind of stuff. The physics compared to Source, I mean, not only does it run better, we have more opportunities to do a variety of things. So
It's something we would definitely have to explore, because usually liquid physics simulations come with their own kind of brand of limitations that need to be kind of worked around. So we'd have to kind of experiment and see what those limitations are and what we could actually use them for. But yeah, it's something we definitely consider investigating to kind of see what we can do with it.
Yeah, there's just currently not really any applications we would have for liquid physics specifically, but I mean, just like in general, like the physics engine, we can utilize it.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't want to rule out anybody that can't run it. So, because that would be pretty terrible if we had some feature that specifically relied on that.
Yep. And Dongle, someone asked about the ice level. Is that okay to show?
What?
Showing the ice level that Kai was working on, or the ice test?
Oh, yeah.
I can go ahead and show that.
Or if you want to do it, yeah.
Yeah, might as well show that.
Because there's some stuff that I hit and all that. There's nothing really to show.
Will modding go beyond? Okay, so we'll have a content package while Kai is loading up a little thing to show. That's not much, but still something. We'll have like a modding like package that's kind of similar to how Gary's mod works, like add-ons. So you can transfer those between using other like web hosting services. We won't be providing anything like that, but if you guys like really want to like make stuff and import mods, that's totally fine.
Yeah, because I think my personal goal for workshop type modification stuff is it's going to be something that you kind of just drop in your folder and the server will host it to the clients. So at the very basic level, it'll be moddable the way games have always been modded. You put some content in and then the server will download it to the clients.
Yeah, and you can just like basically zip up the stuff and drag it
Yeah,
over to the
so-
server if you really want to. You don't have to use Workshop, basically.
That's one of the things
Yeah.
where like I don't want to specifically rely on it because Workshop has been kind of a little iffy in some cases. So it would be nice to just have basic moddable stuff. My theory is that you'd be able to drop cooked U assets into your game directory, and then you'd have the game recognize it and download it to the clients when they join.
Yeah.
So Zach, Circuit, are we utilizing Alcimium for Unreal 4, or are we moving away from that?
We're using we're using Radiant UI, which uses a CEF framework, I think. And
He was asking about implementing things like Google Drive and more diversity for content.
It's something that we like. Our other developer is going to be working on. Samuel Maddock. He's not here currently, but he will be working on adding as many APIs as possible for like sharing of audio and video. But for right now, we're just going to be focusing on the core ones, the YouTube and SoundCloud. And yeah, the system, the web panel system, is something that we can keep up to date and use like HTML5 standards and stuff. So
No, I don't know why this isn't loading.
I don't know, it's taking forever.
It has some complicated shaders in it.
Mac, did we ever show people the test map with the traffic lights?
Oh, do real quick. So terrible. There.
Let me restart it.
Why? I never understand. I'll never get it.
There it is.
I never get it. I'm going to
There
the
it
snow
is.
level. It's better.
Oh,
So sorry.
Alright, so I think we're getting close to
Yeah, wrapping things up.
our wrapping up.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any more questions, we'll do a speed round while we get that snow level up.
It's actually up right now.
Yeah, press G.
There it is.
Boy, here we go.
yeah, the traffic light thing was just me and Scott messing around. We were learning Blueprint back then.
That was a while ago.
Someone asked something about a guitar. I can't remember where that is.
Oh, yeah, we were thinking about adding guitar,
Well,
definitely drum
yeah.
kit,
Yes, will
MIDI
there be
support.
social items?
MIDI support for piano. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
definitely
there's
expand on all that
Instruments.
We kind of have that already.
Instruments will be everywhere. Any other questions before? Because we're gonna keep it short because it was really long last time.
Yeah.
Oh, this was just like a snow test.
I answered it already, kinda, but partially I wasn't entirely sure. Will there be individual leaderboards? As in,
Yes,
like,
that was something I mentioned before last stream, but the stream was so long. We'll have leaderboards for like everything. Like we'll track every stat that we possibly can, and we'll have leaderboards for like, most kills per weapon, most, collected things, like all sorts of stats like that on each individual game world. So it won't just be exclusive to Ball Race like it was before. It'll be a lot more integrated into every game. So you can compare between like everyone. And there also is something that I was going to do in Tower recently called badges. And so badges are sort of they were on the Kickstarter page, but they're just one thing said. So I guess I can kind of explain how they work. Basically, the more you play a game world and the more you do like, headshot kills and Slaughter Night Live or something like that, it'll add to your overall badge level for the game world itself, and you can earn like tiers of badges. So the idea is like the more you play a certain game world, the higher the badges, so people can like quickly glance and see how much you like that one game world or how good you are at it. So if you play like mini golf a lot, you can have like a higher badge to basically brag about. Instead of just having achievements and milestones, this will be something that like you can actually like show off, and it's a constant rank that is constantly being like increased per game world.
Right.
So it's like another collectible, but another basically thing to brag about. And badges also will be something you can wear on your player model if you want to. Just like trophies, they're an item that you can pick up and use. So it's something that I really wanted to do, but yeah, you'll be able to see like the badges. We'll announce that during development, which badges are which, like, you know, and what they look like and the art for them. So that'll be something to announce later.
Super quick question for Will. Are you keeping any of the music from Gmon Tower, or are you going to be reworking most of it?
Yes, I'm making a bunch of new ones as well, but pretty much most of the ones that are in Tower now will be also going to Tower Unite.
Sweet.
Yep. And as well as somebody asked if there are any plans for directional sound, like placing your speakers in different locations and hearing it from that source. So pretty much the way sound works in Unreal is you have pretty much all control over it everywhere. Like you can do anything to it. There's something called spatialization where you can make it so the sound, you know, comes from a 3D direction in the world, which is kind of a standard thing for most games. But yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah. I'll have a quick last question. Anyone? We'll wrap this up.
I think we covered most of them.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Of course, the chat went dead.
Oh no, there's
Oh,
more.
well,
Oh.
2 popped up. See, should be a
Okay.
game mode,
I'll
we
answer
have
both
some
real
mods.
quick. Okay, so DCH is now Tiny Crusaders. It's completely different. It's remade. I mean, it's the same gameplay, but the art and the music is all going to be different because, you know, we can't use that.
You can see some of the concepts on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, the concept's on the Kickstarter page if you want to check that out. It's very similar, but it's very much still inspired by the Mother 3 stuff, but it's not going to be that. Yes, we'll have references to the other games we made because we love putting Easter eggs in our games. We're going to have a lot more Easter eggs than we had in Lobby 2. The main reason for why we didn't have that is because we just ran out of time. This time we'll have a lot of Easter eggs. We'll have a lot of opportunities for Easter eggs. We also couldn't fit them in the map either. I wanted to do some crazy ones, but we hit brush limits and stuff, so we won't have that in Unreal, so we'll have lots of Easter eggs.
All right, very last question for tonight. Suicide Geek asked what will happen if we don't get funded on Kickstarter?
Answered this quite a few times, but
Everything
well, I mean,
dies.
the Kickstarter was basically our #1 income because if we're going to be working on Tower Unite, it's going to be a full-time position for all of us. Like we're talking, because for Gmon Tower, we've only been working, you know, 3 to 4 hours a day, sometimes at the most, and it's been
It was a
incredibly
5-year
slow.
project.
Yeah, it was definitely a 5-year project, but if we're working full-time on Tower Unite, our development cycle is going to be incredibly quicker, not to mention with the rate we can produce content.
But we need jobs, so we want to do this as our job. And if we don't get funded for this, we're gonna have to seek for other jobs, which is something I really don't want to do, but we need to, because I'm getting done with college. Zach is wanting to search for jobs, but this is his job. Like, this is what he wants. This is his dream job. So we have to raise the money now so that we can develop this as our full-time jobs.
Yep.
So basically, make sure you're spreading the Kickstarter around to everybody you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, follow our Twitch if you want to watch future streams, because we're going to be doing it more often.
And we tweet a lot at Pixel Tail Games, and we also have a Facebook page, so you can head over and like all those.
Yep. And I guess that's what we'll end on. We'll wrap it up now.
Yeah. Can't thank you guys enough for showing up for this.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for asking all those questions, and we're probably gonna be streaming again in the next couple days, and we'll let you know when that happens. So.
Yep, and this will be going up on YouTube as well.
I'll post that on the updates and all that stuff. So.
All right.
With that, yeah, I believe we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
See-
Thanks, guys.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.
You guys have a good one.